How to communicate Bitcoin through mass hypnosis. Goal, communicate Bitcoin for world domination. Sub-goal, more profit seeking. Sub-goal, more profit seekers. Because that's how Bitcoin wins, by gradually converting everybody into Bitcoin-denominated profit seekers. That means everybody is doing work to get more Bitcoins. So that's how we take over the world. Problem. People do not understand Bitcoin. Deer in headlights stare is common response to talking about Bitcoin. Also, people who don't understand Bitcoin are easily manipulated into acting against Bitcoin. So what I'm talking about there is the people in Bitcoin who have been led to believe that the centrally planned economies of BTC and BCH are capable of succeeding. So, a Soviet Union-like economy is not going to work, but lots of people have been manipulated into believing that it can. So, my solution to these problems is hypnosis, because you basically turn the problems into benefits, right? Because you've got deer in the headlights stare and easily manipulated people, so you're already almost there. And by hypnosis, what I really mean is costly signaling. So the way this works is the peacock draws resources into his body, then he grows the train of the tail, and then the peahen looks at it to determine whether he's any good, okay? So, and all of the males are in a contest to have the best train, right? So now I want you to imagine that you're the peahen and you're looking into the costly signal. So look deeply into the costly signal. Okay, so as I was saying, look deeply into the costly signal and imagine that you're the peahen and you're thinking about why the signal is so alluring. What's happening? What's going on? Well, confusion is the best inducer of hypnosis. So start with that and then go from there. Now we're going to talk about some examples from nature. Example, antlers, analysis, resourceful, strong. Example, breasts, analysis, fecundity. Example, negging, analysis, independence. Example, hash power, analysis, productivity, investment in health of system. Because the miners are the only group of people that can only be paid in Bitcoin. So, once you divide consciousness, then you can incept the idea. See? So, you do that. Why does it work? So, only costly signals are rare, and rare signals are more meaningful. So, if you see something that is unusual, then you will pay more attention to it. And if you can create a costly signal, then you can match information content with attention level. See? So you know other people will pay more attention to the costly signal, and you can give it more information content. So it's rational to look into the costly signal. Very rational. So why is mining a consensus mechanism? Because I think this is something that people struggle to understand in Bitcoin. It's the same reason that the peahen and the peacock want to have sex. Okay? Only someone with opportunity can consistently demonstrate opportunity cost. So if you have a better future, then you have more opportunity. So balance costliness of signal with information content to maximize information transmission. And in equilibrium, people with more opportunity will communicate more information. So right now we've got the problem with a lot of different coins running around, and everybody trying to promote their own coin. And we all need to settle on one coin to take over the world, okay? So if everybody does this, then the people who have more opportunity will be able to communicate more information. So everybody should be in a costly signaling contest, and then the coin that actually has more opportunity will be the one that people learn more about. So what to communicate? So superior value, superior intelligence, and superior knowledge of the future. And value and knowledge of the future, those are really the same thing, because all investment is a prediction of the future. But there are different ways of communicating these. So I have different examples. So superior value, the value of the cryptocurrency is that it is an economy, right? So we want more profit seekers in the economy, right? So the costly signal that communicates that your coin economy is valuable is that you can push people away, right? Because you need more people, so the costly signal is shoving people away. And you don't want to be so obnoxious that people actually run away from you. You just want to be unpleasant enough that you win the contest. Because people will be able to see the difference, right? The signal has to be the opposite of what you want to communicate, right? So anything that you want to communicate, you just show people that you can throw it away. So you oppose whatever you want to communicate. And then everybody is in a contest over what they can throw away, and whoever wins has the most opportunity, on average. Superior intelligence. So act stupid. That's an easy one. So if you ever think that you might be the only person in the room who can afford to act stupid, definitely do it, because you will be amazed at the results. Trust me. Superior knowledge of the future. Take risks telling people what they will do, because if you know the future, you can tell people what they're going to do. Now, those are my those are what I think you need to communicate in order to convince people that your crypto coin economy is valuable. And everybody is different. Everybody is an individual. So, but the thing that I do that communicates these is pretend to hypnotize people, because that covers everything, right? It's negging, it's pushing people away, and it's acting stupid, and what was the other thing I said? It takes risks telling people what to do. So you will all be assimilated, and this is the best possible advertisement for Bitcoin SV, because only it shows the Borg ship, right? So only people who are not a cult can make jokes about being a cult. So that's a costly signal. Real cults can't pretend to be cults, or people would notice, right? And he's got antlers that represents hash power, but they're also the connection to to everybody else in the Borg ship. And there you go. That's my presentation. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, we're gonna dominate the world. So, any questions?
You will not tell other people what to invest in because yourself. So whatever you'd be telling people would be something that would probably benefit you. So why should we trust you in this case?
Yeah, because of the costly signal. Because only someone with opportunity can consistently demonstrate opportunity cost. So I want to get people into my crypto economy, right? And people have to be convinced to do it on their own, right? I can't do anything to make them do that. But what I can do is convince them to look more closely. So I can attract attention, right? You do that with costly signaling. Because over time, costly signals are honest, on average.
I'll get the microphone to those people, but I have a question. What is like the units of, first of all, great talk. I mean, I loved it. It was great.
Thank you.
What are the units of the signal? Like, how do we know? Like, is it just being really, really unique? That you were saying something about, rare things.
Yeah.
But
so
if that's what it is,
right,
then
anything that distinguishes you, and so like the superior intelligence thing, most people need to be intelligent all the time, right? Most people. So if it's unusual if you are somebody who can afford to act stupid. See. No, you do run that risk. That's correct. That's why it's an honest contest. So I am putting myself at risk by doing it. So that just shows that I believe in what I'm saying. But yeah, anybody who does a better costly signal, then it's easier to compare. So like if you have the train of the peacock's tail, it's very easy to tell minute differences in the health of the peacocks because they have the tail, right? Because it takes it emphasizes the health of the body to grow it. See what I mean?
I guess this is a follow-on question. Is it possible for the signal to be so costly that it comes off as delusional?
Yes, that's what happens at BTC. That's what BTC is doing.
Just confirming. That was it.
What happened to the approach of being Tom Bombadil?
I'm still Tom Bombadil.
Okay, but you're promoting one Bitcoin SV, right? Instead of just saying, I don't care which one?
Right, but that's because I have an idea about which one is going to win now. But before, there were people pressuring there was a lot of pressure to take sides. See what I mean? So one thing that was happening when the original Bitcoin Cash split happened was people were being pressured to sell their BCH for BTC. And that's actually, and there was some the other direction too, but I don't think there was as much. But this is an attempt at market manipulation, because it's social pressure to get people to make investment decisions. So that's no good. It's really just an attempt at market manipulation. So I am exhibiting the costly signal of not caring whether you join me. In fact, I hate all of you. Stay away from me. Your mom's not in the room, is she? Yes, she is.
Is this mic on? Yeah. I'm having a hard time with Craig, that's right, in so much as I don't know that I do or do not believe that he is Satoshi per se, but I believe that he's signaling to me that either he is Satoshi and doesn't care, or he doesn't care that anybody thinks he is. And it's like this recurring loop I'm in. And I'm wondering, is that the feeling of being hypnotized? Am I being sucked in? Is that what that is?
No, he's very good at this.
Okay.
That the stuff in this talk, he's good at it.
It's a circle, and I find myself going in circles.
That's hypnosis. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
That's a loop of consciousness.
Daniel, thank you very much. I started watching your SV videos, and they have helped me incredibly in understanding the Lightning Network.
Oh, okay, thanks.
So how do I unhypnotize myself to come back over to BSV?
I don't know.
No, but seriously, in the Lightning Network, it's, being connected, cooperation, and getting to the center of the network have essentially made me a better Lightning operator within the space.
Okay.
So thank you very much.
Okay, well, good job.
I may have missed when you talked about it, but I'm trying to figure out how this plays with Bitcoin SV. It's in terms of costly signals, because I think that's what they're doing, right, with the hash power. And I also wonder how costly is that, because we don't know power costs, we don't know efficiency of hardware.
No, the point is to make a comparison. So you don't have to know the cost in energy. The point is to have a contest so you can see who wins.
Daniel, could you provide an example of a costly signal from Bitcoin's history?
Yeah, I was going to actually ask about that.
Well, that's just what hash power is. I mean, like if you have more leading zeros means more lost energy. At least if you're comparing
I mean more along
the same
some
time.
action a person undertaken.
Mining. He turns on an ASIC.
So similar question. Would buying Lambos be an example of a costly signal, and does that mean we should all buy Lambos?
It depends on what you want to communicate. And yeah, I mean, read the theory of the leisure class if you want to learn more about that. But I actually think that signaling wealth is a bad idea because Bitcoin hasn't succeeded yet. So I think that's inappropriate. So I think people should signal superior intelligence.
Hi, Daniel. Can I just ask, does your model account for bounded rationality, or are you assuming that all actors are completely rational once they've been hypnotized? Or
I mean, I don't think that people are rational at all.
Daniel. Daniel. So.
Oh, yeah?
Hi. So your presentation was terrible. I hated it. It's totally a cult, and you're trying to brainwash the entire population into believing your cult Bitcoin SV. So, but good luck with it.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, you figured it out. Good job.
I wanted to piggyback off his assumption that we're dealing with rational actors here, because when I actually think about, nagging and acting crazy or acting combative like we don't care, plays into Chris's complaint that we are not a sane, inclusive community that will, attract the most amount of people. So I think there's a chance that we might be getting a little bit too clever with ourselves, assuming that everybody is as smart as we are, or as smart as you are, or actually as dumb as you are. And maybe we might be getting a little bit too theoretical, because I see there's a chance where this can be, gamed, and not achieve the results that you intend.
Oh, okay, yeah, good point. Now, so the point is that being able to consistently make the signal you can't consistently create the signal unless you have value, right? So you can't just go around only making the signal. The signal is just to attract attention. So you do also have to be doing something that is actually productive.
Okay, so you can't just troll your way to
that's
hyper-pigmentization.
Right.
Okay. I think that's a
It's
good way to end it.
good point. Yes. Well, I mean, and that's what profit seeking is. So you're supposed to do work to get more bitcoins if you're a good Bitcoiner, and that is a separate activity from attempting to attract more profit seekers.
I would condemn a lot of members in the Bitcoin core community for achieving social status by way of, I think, intolerance or like communicating disgust for the lesser beings or something. But it seems like everybody wants to come into the space and they want to do something and get recognized for some sacrifice in the team. So is there any notion of that in Bitcoin SV? Is there like a concept of sweat equity? How do you earn it? Do you earn it by any way that's measured that you've decided?
Well, I mean, I think that SV is kind of an incipient community, so it's forming. So I don't really think that I know how to characterize it exactly.
I would like to revisit my question about the units. Like with the peacock, you kind of know that you're looking at the tail, and you're looking like kind of like how big it is and sort of how shiny it is or something like that. And you mentioned hash power, and we all know that that's just a number, and you want it to be low, beneath, as low as it can get, with as many leading zeros as possible. But the one kind of issue with that is that SV, in point of fact, has the lower hash power of the three. And if I can sneak a second question in here, in the same vein, it seems as though the signaling of intelligence, that's a little bit difficult. Like it's kind of like almost a circular reasoning. It's hard to know completely exactly how when someone is signaling intelligence versus just kind of nonsense. And the other thing, it seemed like the other main vein of signaling was signaling that you didn't care if people joined or not.
Yeah.
The negging. But I feel almost like that's got to be the easiest thing to signal in the world, right? Because anyone can always care less and less and less, but perhaps not. I don't know. But anyway, I have those three kind of points there about hash rate, intelligence, and not caring. And
okay.
I do struggle with the idea of like how do we know who's sending the strongest signal in those categories?
Yeah. So well, let's talk about intelligence first. So you should all watch the movie Being There. So if there are lots of people signaling intelligence, there is the possibility that an actual retarded person could become prominent and nobody would notice. And I think that is fine. But that's just what you have to deal with in a society that isn't a hierarchy, where there's sort of people are constantly constantly interacting and rearranging themselves, and they don't know where they stand next to one another, other than what they establish by how they interact. So as to the strength of the signal, so the first thing you're supposed to look at is the signal, but that alone isn't good enough because the signal is just for attracting attention, right? The signal, it says what is the signal limits your choices for you because you can't look at everything. So the signaling contest lets you limit your choices, right? But you also have to look at the whole thing, and the reason you look at the whole thing is that it passed the signal test. But if you're somebody who only looks at the signal and doesn't look at anything else, then then you're going to get abused because someone who's like a psychopath or something can just do signals really well, and then you don't notice that he's no good.
With the signal, you can like narrow it down to like Bitcoin, ABC, SV, BTC, and then you have other criteria.
Or you can do whatever you want. Yeah. Are we done? Oh, okay. Well, thank you. And